If you're tired about all the financial advice out there, I have some good news for you. All the financial advice you will ever need to succeed can fit on a small piece of paper like this.
Is it true?
Yes, it's true, because all the advice you need to manage your finances can be boiled down to a few principles. Principle number 1, plan your financial future as if Social Security will not be there for you. Social Security was born in 1935 in the depths of the Great Depression with the purpose of helping the elderly. However, what was different then was that life expectancy was a lot lower than it is today. For men, the average life expectancy was around 65, and for women was 68. So, the masters, the bright minds, have put in place a social security system that will start paying benefits starting with the age of 65. You can see the problem with this, right? Right. It was a great bet for the system because many would contribute, but few would benefit from it. The problem nowadays is that life expectancy is a lot higher than it was back then. For men and women nowadays, the average life expectancy is around 77 plus. Because of this increase in life expectancy, among other things, it is expected that the Social Security funds will be depleted in the next 20 years or so. So if you are 45 or younger, you need to take your financial future in your hands and plan it assuming Social Security is not going to be there for you. Principle number 2, track your money flows. You know the old saying, what gets tracked gets measured. There is no other way to measure our financial progress than by tracking it. For doing this, a simple Excel sheet will work. When I started doing this for myself, I used the basic template that I found in Excel, and it was enough for me for the first few years. I made the one that I'm using right now just because I wanted to make it look fancy, not because it has any other utility. Another benefit of tracking your money flows is that if you have any anxiety around money, this may be the thing that cures it. Principle number 3, avoid consumer debt, and if you have any, pay down. With a few exceptions in life, almost nothing is worth paying interest to own. There's a great book I read some time ago and said this: those who live paycheck to paycheck are slaves. Those who carry debt are slaves with even bigger shackles. Don't think for a moment that the masters are not aware of it. The problem with consumer debt is that it limits our freedom. It limits our ability to make choices that are in line with our values and long-term goals. So if we want to be as free as possible, we should avoid to borrow consumption from our future selves. Because consumer debt is nothing more than that. We are borrowing from our future self so we can consume now. And when we are saving and investing, we are delaying consumption now so we can consume more in the future. Now, if you have any consumer debt, it is okay. You can do your best to pay down as soon as possible to get that freedom and flexibility back in your hands. Then watch your life satisfaction increase significantly. Principle number 4, aim to save 40 to 50% of your income. Why so much? Because a 40 to 50% savings rate will ensure that you have a high chance of achieving your financial independence in the next 15 to 20 years. You may be wondering, how the hell do I do this? The best advice that I received on this is to find out what you value most and what you don't. Then it's a matter of choices. You decrease spending on the things that you do not value, and you increase the spending on the things that you value. For example, you may value a lot going out, but you may not value having a luxurious home. So you would tilt your spending more towards going out, and you would decrease your spending on housing. Lastly, relax. Nobody started with a high savings rate. Everyone got there over time. As income increases, saving a higher percentage of your income will become easier and easier. Principle number 5. Limit buying individual stocks to 10 to 20% of your portfolio. We all want to find the next big thing, the next big business, the next 10x stock. Unfortunately, doing this is a lot more difficult than you may think. Unless you're willing to put hundreds of hours of research into understanding a particular business, and remember that you will have to go through hundreds of businesses until you find one that will seem like the next big thing, then you're better off using a different strategy. But if you really want to try your hand at it, it is better to limit those investments to 10 to 20% of your portfolio. This will make sure that your long-term goals will not be affected in case of a disaster. Principle number 6. Buy well-diversified index funds or exchange-traded funds, also known as ETFs. Speaking of a different strategy, This is by far the best option for 99% of people out there. Don't take my word for it. Ask the greatest investor of all time this question: what's the best investment advice for 99% of people? And the answer that you will receive is a diversified, low-cost index fund, such as the US Total Stock Market Index or the Total World Stock Market Index or the S&P 500. Principle number 7. Avoid money managers. Truth is, the average person does not need a money manager. As a first principle, remember that it's your money and no one will care for it better than you. Of course, if you put in a little bit of work. And the truth is, the average person does not need a money manager. The primary problem with money managers is that their commissions and management fees will rob you throughout your investment career of a few $100,000. Again, don't take my word for it. Just look on the screen and see what a standard 1 to 2% fee can do to your portfolio over the long term. You see that a 1% fee can reduce the final portfolio value by $300,000, while a 2% fee can reduce it by $750,000. So unless you're a high net worth individual with $5 to $10 million or more, you probably don't need a money manager. Principle number 8. Buy your first home as an investment property. This was a revolutionary piece of advice that I've received from a very successful real estate investor. In a nutshell, his argument is as follows. When you are young and you are looking to buy a property, instead of looking to buy your dream house, your dream apartment, buy one of the same size or a similar size to the one that you are renting right now, or that you are looking to rent right now if you plan on upgrading. Then, when you are searching to buy such a house, look for houses or apartments that need some cosmetic work. Basically, it's ugly inside. You see your grandma's carpet inside the apartment or the house. That's a fixer-upper, that's what it's called. And this is actually a very important piece. Here's why. By buying a house that needs some cosmetic work, you can appreciate its value. So basically, you give it a facelift and the house will automatically increase in value. And if we are doing things right, that house will go up in value more than the amount that we put into the remodeling and into the cosmetic work. So the goal with this is to put in, for example, $10,000 and then fix the right stuff so that the house goes up in value by $20,000. So by doing this, you appreciate its value and you increase your net worth as a result. The advice applies even when you outgrow that house. When you move into the new one, you do the same thing. You repeat the process, but you do not sell the old one. You rent out the old one. And voila, this is another great investment opportunity and a way to increase your portfolio and your net worth and your passive income as you go through life. Principle number 9, remember and apply the principles. I have no doubt you are a very smart person. You know that even if you have the best advice in the world, if you don't apply it, there will be no results and there will be no progress. It's the action, the consistent application of the principle that matters. So remember the principles and apply them. Alright everyone, if you enjoyed this video, you may also like this other video that I made. Feel free to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, have a wonderful day. Peace.